All right, guys, we are finally back from the break. I know that was a bit longer than expected. I hope you guys are still enjoying the live commentary. This is the German Go Championship, which is the biggest Go event in the entire country. We're just trying to fix some technical issues. My head is like still wrapping around that. We're backstage just working on all the cables, and it is the part that you don't see, but it's what we try to do to make your guys' lives easier. But anyway, we're back. I hope this is more stable now. I thank you so much for your patience. Once again, I'm joined by Benjamin Teuber, who's EGF 6th dan, one of the strongest players in Germany. So yeah.
Finally, we can come to today's games.
Yeah. That took a long time. I know. I'm really sorry. And I just realized that I was so fixated on the stream that one of you backstage, come here and fix the teleprompter. We don't even know what we're doing anymore, but that's fine.
Shall we just dive into the game?
I guess so. Which I forgot, is Jonas black or white? Jonas is white.
Yes, Jonas Welteke against Matthias Pankow.
Yeah, so we should provide some context because it's been a while since we did the introduction, but now we're back. You can use the mouse. Yeah, just turn it on. It's good. We do get funny bloopers, but we're now trying to stream like 3 hours of tech people failing and and freaking out backstage all the time. Anyway, this is a game between Matthias Pankow, who is 5 dan from Oldenburg, and I believe our favorite, Jonas Welteke, who's 6 dan from Bonn. And he's also the defending champion, by the way. So obviously, if he is to defend this year's championship, he needs to get through this first hurdle. And sometimes that can be hard, because it's the first day, right?
Well, he doesn't absolutely have to do it, because Matthias is not expected to win all the other games. So so if it's a tough one-on-one race between two players, it doesn't really matter if you lose one game against another player, because in the end, if there's a tie, the direct competition always
acts as a tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's a tiebreaker. So it happened a lot of times that the favorite blundered even in the first round, and then won all the games and still became German champion.
I see.
So,
well,
but of course,
in general,
you want to start with a clean sheet, right?
Yeah.
Because if you lost one, if you lose one other game out of the other 6, your chances are getting dim.
Yeah. So you don't want to just win the first game and focus on that, stamp your authority, right? Show everyone that you're in good shape. And as Jonas has shown, I mean, throughout this last few weeks, he's won a lot of tournaments, and he's very confident right now. But of course, we'll just dive into the live game. Keep in mind that Jonas has won 8 of their previous 9 meetings. However, I think you told me he made some mistakes, right? So some of the moves could have been better.
Yeah, of course. Everybody does, right?
Yeah,
we're not perfect machines.
Well, I mean, here's how to play better. Just don't play bad moves when you go to a tournament.
It's so easy.
Yeah. When you just go to a tournament and you think you're gonna play a bad move, just don't play it. You'll win every single tournament in the world. So enough with the chat.
Okay. So Matthias is black.
Yeah.
He played 3-3. White also played 3-3.
That's relay.
So that's of course a fine move, but it's not bad coming, right? Because it focuses just exclusively on the corner and not towards any side at all. So
yeah.
But whatever.
Well, you can't invade a 3-3 if your opponent already played a 3-3.
That's true. So that's forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very solid corner, but it seems like we see a bit of a mirroring here.
Yeah. But the mirroring stops fairly quickly.
I see. I know Jonas likes this kind of stuff, because when I was playing against him in Pisa, he did this like all the time. Like in the first 20 moves, he was mirroring me perfectly. I was like, what's going on? But
I guess that's why I think with the next move, the scribe made a mistake, and he probably just expected the mirroring to continue like that.
Yeah.
But actually, Jonas played here.
Yeah. he tricked the scriber.
Yeah. Could have
Yeah.
tricked Matthias as well.
Have you experienced any, games like this where your opponent mirrors you? Like, what's the kind of strategy you use to break out of it? Or, I mean, are you normally the person doing the mirroring?
I think I did it once actually against Franz Josef Dickwood, and he was really annoyed with me, and he lost the game.
Did he like say anything after the game?
I don't remember exactly, but I noticed he was kind of upset. So.
Yeah, he was like, what?
But besides that, no, not really. But I guess if you're black and white mirrors, then there's several strategies, right? You can just create a situation where Tengen becomes a very good move.
Yeah.
Because after Tengen, white is the one to move first, so he cannot mirror you anymore.
Yeah.
And if at that point you have the better Moyo, and you're ahead, then it's just fine.
Yeah.
And of course, there's all these fancy things with creating two ladders that are running towards each other, and then hell is breaking loose.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like the Least of the Ladder game, except better with two ladders that don't work. So those
usually it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, it's already broken. Jonas has already decided to play something different. I think this is maybe a more solid enclosure, and this is wider.
Yeah, it's more active, but of course more open as well.
Right.
So black is continuing to enclose corners.
I'll just all enclosure at this point.
White as well.
Yeah.
So very.
So he resumed the mirror
open.
almost.
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah. Oh wow. Same thing. This is already typical Jonas Vertica.
Now it's getting interesting.
Now it's different, right? Because black did a one space enclosure, and
white cannot just go in here.
Yeah, white cannot go in here.
That wouldn't make sense.
This will be the face reddening move.
But not a good one.
Yeah. So what about this one? Or what about this attach?
Yeah, I mean, first time I saw that in my life, I was kind of shocked. But nowadays, this is a kind of a Joseki actually. So like with this enclosure, after this approach, this is just a good move.
Oh, okay.
And I guess the reason for that is that if white answers on below, black can play here. So now white has to cut.
Yeah.
Here. And now white has two problems. White needs to prevent black from connecting this stone here, and white needs to prevent black from cutting here and taking this stone.
So two weaknesses.
Two weaknesses.
And it's Mii. In Go, you would say a Mii position is when you can fix one of them, you can't fix both.
Right. You can't have the cake and eat it.
Yeah.
So without this stone, there would be no problem for white. White can just play here, or maybe even here, and both weaknesses seem kind of fixed.
I mean, if black comes out here, for example, right? It's
white will harne, and black will have to crawl a lot, and don't really. Maybe black's not gonna die, but this doesn't look like any fun at all for black.
Seems kind of awkward because if black has the fourth line stone, you're just kind of extending along the third line. It's kind of hurting that a little bit.
I mean, it might still get complicated, like depending on that ladder is working.
Oh, we're talking about ladders again.
Maybe it's working for white, so
yeah. Well, no, wait, no, that works for black, right? Because black has a stone in the bottom left corner.
Okay, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good presentation for the new players, like a full ladder.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be fine?
Let's play it out until the end, and then we'll see who's right.
Yeah. Somehow I don't have a good feeling about this.
But you're white. You were claiming that the ladder works for black, right?
I was doomed from the beginning. Oh, wait, does it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah. You have to kind of this is in tournament. You have to calm down and think about it, right? But for the beginners who just starting to watch this commentary, this is one of the basic concepts of Go. Ladder is a position, during which you can always make an Atari, which is like a forcing move. And if you look at this group, then it only has one liberty, right? And by liberty, what I mean is it only has one free intersection to run. Like all the other adjacent intersections are blocked.
Right, because if the last liberty is taken from a connected chain like that, then the chain is enclosed and captured, and white could take them all off the board.
Yeah, you can just think of it as like an army of soldiers, right? And there's only one way out, and there are no ways out. Then you're surrounded. Yeah, then you're captured.
So ladders are kind of a one-way street, right? There's not so much alternatives to consider, because whatever black does, white will just eat it. So black only has one move to try.
Yeah. So let's play this out. You don't get to see this in a real tournament, because either way, right? If the one player will lose a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
Like if black dies, it's just horrible. But if black escapes and all these white stones are not connected and weak and capturable, it's also horrible for white.
Yeah.
Or maybe slightly less horrible than getting captured.
I guess so. Sometimes it does happen when you play League of Zero and just misread completely, and the game is wasted. But
so we can see what happened here.
Well, this is a close call, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So this almost came to help.
Almost was a ladder breaker, right? If white would continue playing the ladder from here, then now this escape move would be an Atari, and black would be out.
Yeah.
But because the edges of the board is already there, white can just continue capturing them towards the side.
Right. So now there's no way to run.
Yeah, and now you can just eat it all.
Yeah.
And black can resign.
See?
So
I had the last laugh over you. But of course that's only one of the variations. I think it's a fun trip down the board. Of course in the game it was this kind of shape. So there's
Yeah. We were exploring these things. So yeah, in this shape, this is a common move.
Yeah.
And because this doesn't work out for white, white just blocked from this, which is normal, I guess.
Yeah. So that's what's happening in the game, right?
Yeah. Black played here.
So extend. No B.
Black played this. Also fine. Actually.
Oops. No, not that one. This one. The tiger's mouth, right?
Yes.
So what's the reason behind the tiger's mouth? Is there something white can do? For example, I've always wondered, and this is like a genuine question. Just now we're going over a ladder. Now we're like talking about this complicated Joseki. So we're trying to make everyone happy. But one of the questions I've always had is, what if white cuts? Right? What if like something like this happens?
Wow.
And then
let's see. I guess I have to take it.
Yeah. And then what if I play here? Extend. Because like it seems like if in the game, right? Let's first play the variation in the game. Black is a tiger's mouth, and this looks like even for both, right? Although there's a kind of weakness for white. So I always wondered that. Can white counterattack here?
Interesting question. Let's see what happens.
I guess then this will be.
Right, like that.
Uncertainty. And the point is not to salvage those two stones that were just taken, but to rather Atari black into a strange shape, right? And that's the.
But I guess now I don't really need to connect right now, right? I mean, if I did, there might be some problems.
Might be risky, yeah.
But if I just play like that, now you could capture these. But maybe it's a little small, right?
Yeah, it's relatively unimportant now. But what do you think of this outcome?
It looks weird, right? But I guess it's alright for black too. So
yeah.
Like white doesn't have much of the corner, and black is strong here.
Yeah.
And at some point in the game, when black has something here, black might connect and still check the group as a whole.
And at that stage, the bad shape doesn't matter, because like then when you're attacking this, all you care is like eye space, right? And if you connect, there might be some problems what it is exposed to. So yeah, that's definitely an option in the game. White plays here.
Yeah, I think that's a more common way to deal with that. So, yeah, black also wants to connect over there, but if you do it like that, then white can still get something in the corner. So black played here. Even though it leaves some interesting weakness to look at later. I don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. Now we're back to the high level stuff. We're just...
maybe black will just play here and black is still connected, but but white can.
Well, right now white cannot play here because
and then
the
black
tiger
can cut through with two tigers and
yeah,
cannot do anything. But like that, at least black is a little low, right? So that's something white can do now or later.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like now we just completed this Joseki and back to the 6th dan level stuff. I hope you guys are following this well. This is a high level game, but obviously if you have any questions, including our those people watching Go for the first time, I hope you really enjoy this game. I mean, from my perspective, it's it's really it's a peaceful activity, so there's no like actual body fighting involved. But on the board, like there are many interesting positions. So if you have any questions, anything you're not sure about, everything is welcome. You could ask me or Benny here, and we'll try our best to answer. If you want to also check out, imagine if you just stumble upon Go and you want to check out more about this game, we have some panels that were just made fresh from last night. You could definitely check out some of the learning resources down below. So that's just my welcoming speech to the new players. Right. Not everyone plays as well as you do. So I mean, you definitely took a lot of years of practice, right?
Yeah, I'm now playing for 25 or more years.
Oh wow. Definitely longer than I've lived. So yeah, a lot of experience under your belt, and so we'll probably just redirect all the questions to you. But now it's White's turn.
Yeah, so I feel like this is a typical Jonas move in a way, because he's thinking on the largest of possible scales, right? He doesn't think, okay, I make this territory or this. He says, okay, I make it all.
Yeah.
Of course, he won't make it all. Black will enter and then does some fighting.
Yeah.
But he wants to start really on the.
I'm guessing he slammed the stone down with real confidence. Like he
probably did. Yeah.
Yeah. And it matters. Like, well, you can't like slam your stones down all the time, because if you do that, then it's even if it's a mistake, right? And you just slammed it down, and then you'll just be like, oh, I misread that completely. But it's an art.
I guess it would be more common to just make a stone, something like that.
What would happen to this gap?
To just build this.
I guess there's some way to evade, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this side is big as well, but I feel like this is the biggest area of the board, because like there's this wall facing there, this kind of wall facing there.
Yeah.
And also, I think you have to consider, like there's this sort of cut left, which might be annoying, because if black can cut off this, might be big, or this might be a weak group.
Right.
So,
well, maybe not now, because what if like white just gives it up?
Yeah, maybe not immediately, but
yeah.
But once black has something there, I think this weakness might be something.
Yeah. So there's a potential worry for white.
Or maybe not even cutting, but for example, imagine you have these, and maybe you play this kind of beep. White may want to answer.
Ouch.
And suddenly it feels like your group's gonna be captured, or not captured, but severely attacked. So even though white has very nice shape here, this group isn't yet that strong that you can have the opponent play an unlimited amount of moves in that area. So that's why I think this area is really big, because it builds some nice territory extensions from the walls, and it strengthens this group.
Yeah, well, this is a really nice castle shape, right? Typically, you want your stones to be of distance away, because you don't want to be too concentrated. But this would look like a nice side development for white, I think. Although this is also quite big, and I mean it reduces, I suppose, some of black's potential here, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a nice move.
Yeah,
right.
It's a tough decision. I think we can say it's reasonable.
Sure,
right?
sure. Well,
of course you can't have it both. So if you
so black enters.
Obviously this is the wider side, and as you mentioned, there's some aji, and I suppose one of the ways I've always looked at it, this issue is if you just count a number of intersections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this one's like wider, right? Sometimes that's like a good metric. I don't know. But it really depends on the shape.
Yeah, I think like extending from walls is another very important principle, right? And this feels like something in this direction.
Yeah, I think this is kind of important though, just you mentioned, because it affects the dynamic, the power dynamic of the groups, right? Because oftentimes in Go we see like just one move could change the entire initiative, like who's ahead, because what could be once a wall could also turn into a weak group, and I think White definitely doesn't want that to happen, so White needs to attack. However,
yeah, I was really surprised by this move.
yeah. just Jonas things. Hashtag just Jonas things. So why are you surprised? I mean, I would also be, because it's visually striking. But...
I mean, there's this proverb: never attach stones you want to attack, right?
Yeah.
And White clearly wants to attack this one because it's just invaded into White's sphere of influence. So I feel like I don't know, play something like this.
Take away the base.
Take the base and hunt it down. But if you attach to it, it feels like makes it stronger.
Yeah.
So it's a little counterintuitive to play like that. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. But now Black has to make a choice. Like, do you take the left or do you take the right?
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, surely Black can't just extend, right? That seems like way too soft for me. But
yeah, maybe it's possible. But I don't think you want to. No, I think you should play one of the Hanes.
One of the Hanes.
And the question is, which direction is more important?
Well, how would you evaluate that?
Well, I guess the same thing like before, right?
Yeah.
Like
dilemma.
Amount of space, like walls facing somewhere, and how it affects the weakness and strength of groups.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll just play one of these out, I guess. But what if Black plays here?
Yeah.
Just for the audience, right? Because they want to probably see it played out.
And maybe not start with the cut. I mean, White might like normally would do something like that,
Yeah,
right? And then
let's not be
Black
so
might
violent.
block and.
So I guess White's done something in Sente and taking away the base, and there's not a space for
But I also don't think Black has to worry too much about this group. Right? There's some, like, Black can maybe make some eyes here and can escape to the center and like crawl this way. And also White has, as I mentioned, some weakness too.
Yeah.
So as soon as Black is out of the out of the problems, out of the target, White has to worry a little bit too about getting cut off or attacked.
Because you mentioned like Aji in those areas, right? And so if Black had a group here, this could really diminish the strength of White's wall here.
And also, actually, maybe this move is a little heavy. Like, like might try to play more fancy and indirect.
It's a fine difference between solid and heavy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to play light, but you also don't want to, leave exposable weaknesses.
So you could try and defend this more indirectly, like this one.
Yeah.
Which is really threatening to cut here now. So White should probably defend like this.
Now just threatening the Hane, right?
Yeah. And I don't know, do something like this. If White just answers, you can... Yeah, maybe this way you feel a little stronger. Or just move out. I'm not sure.
I mean, there are many ways of doing this, right?
Yeah.
If you want to assume like an attacking position, you might as well get a solid shape, but at the same time, you don't want to make your group a burden, right? Oftentimes we talk about, when you have a weak group in the beginning, it could be a burden because then you just have a bunch of stones. If you give it up, it's a lot of points for your opponent, right? It's a huge loss. That means you just wasted the stones, basically.
Sure. So you're really committed once you have a big, heavy group. I mean, that's the meaning of heavy, right? That you're committed to saving it, no matter how the opponent attacks it.
But I mean, when we say heavy, it's like normally something negative, right? It's a burden. So you want to shake it off, but if you don't, sometimes you run out to the center, but your stones are not making any points. I mean, at least from my perspective, I would imagine you would want to use your stones to the highest efficiency, right? Like in Go, like I get a stone, you get a stone. So if your stones are making points and mines are not, then who's winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes that's the way you see it. We have a question from chat. By the way, thank you for all the wonderful feedback so far, and it's really awesome that you guys somehow lived through those 40 minutes of hell and paradise. Our producers are really happy now backstage. Like, I mean, look at their faces. Oh my god, it's the ultimate.
Like children's smiles.
Yeah. So that's good. But the question is, I'm wondering about the history of Go. How do Go come to be? That's a great question. We will just spend about 3,000 years. I don't know. We don't have that much time. But yeah, Go has a long history. Just very briefly, right? It's been in Asia for like thousands of years, and
yeah, we don't really know how old Go is, do we? I mean,
I was born in '98, so I wasn't around at that time.
But I mean, even like historians, they don't know the exact age of Go.
Yeah, I mean, one of the common theories was this: there was like an emperor who was teaching his son to be like patient and concentrating on things. So he just devised this kind of game, and some people say it's like a game that is meant for immortals to play. And there was this kid who was spectating, and it was so long he didn't even realize. So you hear a lot of interesting Go tales, but the fact is in ancient China we have proof that Go is like one of the four traditional arts, classical arts. So it used to be like a nobleman's game, and now we have this new development. Of course, in the modern times, so like you may have heard of AlphaGo, which is the artificial intelligence program developed by Google, and so that's made the news recently, and it is especially since 2016.
Yeah, that was a big shock to the
That was a big
community.
shock. Yeah, and since then we've reached a new age. You could argue like everything has changed. Everything we've learned about Go before, everything we've defined as good or bad, it's being reevaluated, right? So that's a new age of Go. So I think it's very exciting right now to be a Go player, because we've always had like proverbs and conventions, but we learned that those things can be broken, and as long as it works, as long as it's efficient, yeah,
I guess there's no rule without exception, right?
Right. I mean, so Go is very free flowing at the moment. I think it's I think that's a good thing. We have many like popular openings, like the 3-3, but those are like fashion trends. So you can choose freely, and like we said in the review, all that matters is you have to be persevering and stay until like the mid game, and survive the end game, especially if it becomes a close match. So yeah, Go is a very cool game, and
a very old game.
Very old game, but we're trying to do. This is only our first year of like broadcasting massively, by the way. So we're very grateful that you guys are here, and we hope you enjoy yourselves. We're certainly enjoying ourselves. Speaking of moves that are sparkling, this is a crazy attachment. Looks like Black did heed one of your advice.
Yeah, so it looks like Matthias considered the size of the potential, right? And you think, so okay,
yeah,
White has this, so this looks large, so I'm going to build into the large direction, which is kind of understandable.
So I mean, this is from the space argument, right? This was like 4 versus 5, so maybe this is more important, and maybe that was Black's idea.
Yeah, and especially like these stones as well, right? Like the whole side is big.
Yeah. So I mean, White has to cut now, because
White could go back.
Yeah. What do White have here?
Black, I don't know. If Black connects, might be a little heavy again. Maybe Black can also try something more subtle, like this, which is threatening to go through, right? Yeah. So White should answer somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe here.
Yes, here. Yeah.
And yeah, try to. I don't know what happens if White cuts now.
Could be a long story.
Yeah, but Black is getting something here, so
yeah.
I think it looks alright for Black, but I don't know.
Yeah, it would be a different game, obviously, because it wouldn't be Jonas.
Yeah, Jonas cut immediately.
He just wants to cut. I'm 10 euros. My bet he slammed this. Yeah.
Yeah.
As he would do. As he would do.
I won't match your bet.
Yeah. Aww.
So I think now Matthias has another chance to go back to switching to taking this side and saying, okay, you can get some territory here, but I'm gonna build something here, and then you have to worry about that group again.
Yeah.
And
so,
while you worry about that group, I might build some more on my own.
Right. Is that what? No, oh no, that's not what happened in the game.
No. He played here. Jonas played here. So. And now it's an interesting situation. Yeah. Like you want to deal with that cutting stone somehow, right? Mm-hmm. You would like to capture it.
Yeah.
And this is again a ladder shape, but this time the ladder is broken by the stone.
Oh, let's play it out.
Yeah.
And well, that doesn't work.
Now you can connect, and now black would be shattered in pieces.
Yeah. As a EGF4 Don, I should know this, and it did. So I'm happy. But yeah.
So black cannot do anything else to directly play against it.
Yeah.
So for a high-down player, the natural approach would be to somehow aim at this ladder. So try to play something against this side that might enable this ladder.
Right. But you don't want to play anything that's like,
non-threatening, right?
Non-threatening.
Then white just plays here, because actually white can also not play a ladder on his own here, I think. Well, maybe he can.
He
can, I think.
Yeah.
It works.
You can read it out yourself at home if you want to. But yeah, the point is...
But now black doesn't have a move in this direction, right? So black wants to try some sort of double threat. So create a Miyai position again.
Some magic.
Yeah. So, and that's the idea of Matthias with this move, I guess.
So why is this one... Is it even the right move?
According to Lila, it isn't. And I think I agree with Lila here. Like, this looks nice.
Wait, did you just say that Lila had an opinion about ladders?
Yeah, it's a short ladder. Lila can read that.
Okay, yeah. Right. For one moment, I'm surprised.
So this one, it has two direct means. Like, if I place here, it can again
I think
cut in here.
Obviously will be a problem for white, right?
Yeah, for example, like that, and just defend on the outside.
And then white to
need to take it. And I'm not sure if I play the Atari or not. It might depend on the amount of co-threads, but either directly or afterwards.
I can take this one. Game, right?
That's another ladder, right?
Yeah,
a lot of ladders here. And that would probably be nice for black, because black was successful in shattering all this white.
Shattering all this white territory, because this used to be white's area, and now black has settled, and he just spilled into the left side, which white was actually spent a move to try to build, right?
So white cannot do that, basically.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems with investing in areas. Then you really have to make it, right? Otherwise, this would.
So white should answer like that.
Yeah.
And now black can play here, and now it didn't affect this ladder we just had, but there's yet another ladder now. Is it? No, it's not. What am I talking
about? Oh no! He misread a ladder again.
I did. So how does it continue? So I was thinking there would be another ladder.
You gotta read your ladders. I trusted you.
I'm sorry.
I think you were talking about this one, but obviously if you Atari here, I can just run out. So that's not really a problem for him, rather for black, because that doesn't work that way.
That's not.
And not here either, because for obvious reasons, white has stones in the vicinity. Normally, when that kind of situation arises, you should be aware, that a ladder doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So that was the real game, or
no, that was like the suggestion by
Lila,
but I just checked on my computer. Wow. So actually, after this, black doesn't play like that. Black plays this other ladder, which still doesn't work.
Yeah.
And although we said it's usually a horrible idea to play a ladder that doesn't work, white gains something here now, clearly.
Yeah.
But black still destroyed this side, and these white stones are looking a little weak.
I guess it's some sort of trade. I mean,
It's some
black's giving a
trade.
lot on the outside,
Right.
though. So I don't know. It's hard to evaluate that. Is it?
It is. For human, it
Yeah.
is super hard to evaluate.
Yeah.
But leader thinks black's gonna be okay. It's like an even game.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you could say that because this is a huge gain and also a huge loss, I suppose. I mean, if white like builds the outside, right, this is going to be...
Yeah, but I
really
think white
good.
has no time, right? Right, he needs to take care of this.
At the moment, he needs to fix whatever's
and then
going on
maybe
here.
black can jump here fairly quickly to
Yeah.
reduce this and build something here. And if black gets this, then maybe it's not such a big problem that white got that
I mean,
strong
like we
here.
said, the downsides of playing a non-working ladder are less horrible than the downsides of being captured in the working ladder, right? If you get overtaken,
Exactly.
then it's like too much thickness and too many points. But even sometimes the ladder doesn't work, and you have some debris floating in the middle. Sometimes it's not so bad, right? Because as you can, in this case, black can reconcile one of the sides and make some damage on the left side, so should be okay. We got a question though. Someone said the net should be good enough.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think he was talking about, or he or she was mentioning.
No, this one.
Oh, it was this one, yeah.
This. And now this net.
one?
Yeah.
This net. So let's play that out. Thank you for the question, but that was a great question. So I'm guessing.
White has to play this.
My senses say that white has.
So I guess black won't escape now, but rather squeeze.
Atari, and that's a must.
Yes. And now what? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, white can pawn A, right?
Defend. White can also connect.
Yeah.
Black has to be careful with that cut as well.
Because if you play this is Sente, but there's a cutting point.
There's still a cut, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know this. And now you still need to come back like that.
So how would you rate this trade for both players? I mean, I personally think that this white shape is pretty good. Like it wasn't as much damage as the previous one, right?
Yeah, but also white
don't
isn't
know.
as strong in the centers on the previous one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, this move isn't there
Oh, yeah.
at all. That makes a difference.
That makes a huge difference.
So I guess in that case, then maybe white is fine. Like continuing here. And even though black can run out there,
Yeah.
white won't get any severe trouble
So
and can just just walk along,
just walk along,
gain
yeah.
some points here, and still these stones are maybe not always almost dead, but if black decides to move these stones, then he's gonna get attacked.
Then it's a burden again.
It's burden again.
So, and I mean, if black jumps too far away, then there might be some weakness there. For white to kill those stones anyway.
But
So-
maybe white isn't even aiming for just killing
Yeah,
four
yeah.
stones, right? White wants
Let it run.
4 stones is just 8 points. So if you only get these and black is getting a wall on the outside, you're not gonna take that deal.
Right.
But later, of course, there's something.
Very good question, though. I mean, I think this is...
It's very complicated. Right?
Yeah, it's complicated, I would say. so,
So-
actually, did this happen? Like,
No, Matthias settled for very straightforward variation.
so this already happened, right?
So he played this one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's...
And that's
okay.
a very simple and straightforward idea. He plays another move here.
Yeah,
White should answer.
answer. And that ladder works.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we can also play it out.
Sure.
Now you can continue playing here, right?
You finally read one ladder right today.
You misread this letter here, not me. You just happen to play the color
No,
of the
I was
stone.
talking to the audience. Like they want to know what a ladder is. So I was like, shouldn't I interact with them? Like.
Of course. Just kidding. So white clearly cannot escape here, right?
Yeah.
This would be captured.
I can't believe we're talking about ladders so many times in this game.
So
yeah.
white has to give up that stone. Maybe play from here. Black will capture.
Right, now it's not worth running out anymore.
So, black, how would you evaluate this situation?
Oh, question for me.
I mean, I guess
I'm playing with my imaginary goatee of wisdom, but I don't have one.
I mean,
really
black succeeded in capturing this stone, right? Which is a success.
It's a Panuki, although you can say it's not like a real Panuki because there's one more stone here. So on the subject of stone efficiency, that one's a little bit wasted. But
but I mean, if you had seen this starting position and thought like, okay, black is able to capture that stone.
Yeah.
Black is happy with that, right?
I think so.
So that's what black gained. But also to gain that, black played a price. Black exchanged this move.
And those are bad exchanges, I imagine.
Yes, these are really, really bad exchanges, right? Because without, if black can play from here and aim at this,
so like
a lot of weaknesses, like this or whatever, yeah? There's a lot of, and this exchange, and especially this exchange, which is also very, very bad shape. It's like bumping your head with 2 stones against the wall.
Right, right.
This makes white much more strong, and I think I'm not sure, like if it's really worth capturing this stone because the price you pay here is quite high as well.
Yeah. Oh well, I suppose if I may say, black did achieve its purpose of breaking to that top side, and now his shape is probably not in immediate danger. Right, but I guess like you said, this is a huge game for white. Just those 2 exchanges, because black had to do that to make the ladder possible.
Right,
but
it didn't happen.
As the counter is always wrong.
So white also apparently felt like this isn't worth it.
Well, but this is Jonas saying, "Well, game on." And you try to make life out of this.
But being cut like that is really painful. I mean, it's not as painful as this Romeo and Juliet shape we saw before.
This is Romeo and
but it's still not nice. And also now this stone feels like he's in trouble, right? Yeah. White needs to take care of it now.
Exactly.
So I guess black is really happy to have gotten this move.
I mean, originally this was a really nice large knight's shape, but now that's being hurt. Obviously, black did pay a price because now this is like a strong area, but white has to do something in the corner now.
Yeah, exactly. He does.
So that's what he did.
And one more time.
So now there's a cutting point.
Black tries to defend like that, which has more means of going out and reducing the liberties here. Fine.
So white has to seal in. Is it necessary or?
Well, I guess that was Jonas' plan from the beginning, right? To let black go in here and build something really big here. I mean, maybe that was his plan from this point in time where he decided, I want to build something really large in the center.
Well, he did invest like 1 move in it, right? That's a strong statement.
But having this weak corner and still allowing black to play first here is also very, very painful. So in fact, Lila thinks that white should, at this point, just defend like that and still let black out.
Oh, okay. Well, even if black can just wait into the center.
This and just play here.
And I guess it's time to fix. And then white connects. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. Black
nothing
came
is
out.
Getting too big for white, but still there's something, right? The group is a little weak still. You get something here, you get something here.
And like white's shape is not that bad in this position. Like it seems like he can recover a bit from being cut off earlier, right? Because now he's reunited the corner and the side. I think that's
I mean, I wouldn't like it as white, but maybe I would like it more than the game.
What makes you say that? I suppose it has something to do with the follow-ups, right? Because now that white didn't choose to connect these up, black's gonna retaliate and do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, black's this one connecting. This is threatening the corner.
Threatening the corner, yeah.
And now black can just jump here and destroy this side.
Oh, that's big.
So yeah, like the corner was destroyed, the side is destroyed, and it's not clear how big it's gonna be, right?
How does Leoson think?
Yeah, I think black is really ahead now. Like,
oh my god. Oh.
So like white's winning chances dropped to like 30%, which for a bot like that is really a lot.
It's extreme because normally when you start with like most bots, right? Because there's a Comey of 6.5 or 7. Normally the bot tends to give white a bit of an advantage right in the beginning. Like normally it's not that
like
uncommon.
53 or something.
Yeah, it's not that uncommon to see like even openings and then black has like 44%, 45%, right? But in this case, it's actually black who has more than 65% after this position. So that's a big swing, you know. But I guess you are the real Lizzie expert, or I mean, you even have a website, right?
Yeah, actually, I built this website called aisensei.com, where you can upload your own Go games, and it will analyze it with Lila and then give you commentary and say, okay, this move was bad, you should have played it there instead, and then it would have been like, instead of 30%, you would have 54% now.
All right. Well, that's maybe because of the ladder. Well, actually, the ladder is probably more than that. The ladder is immediate loss. If you misread, like, you played until here and you realized, oh, no, that doesn't work. And that was the first round of the German championship. That'd be kind of awkward. That obviously didn't happen. But as we, go further with this game, seems like black had a chance to break into white's left side territory. And that is what's happened so far. In fact,
oh no. I was kicked out of KTS.
For misreading the ladder.
I guess for staying inactive too long. So let's see.
You gotta admit that was pretty savage. Oh my god. So a lot more moves have happened in the game. By the way, we're catching up because we did want to go talk about this game a little bit earlier, but obviously there was a glitch. Fortunately, that's fixed now. So I hope you guys are still enjoying our live coverage. We're a bit behind, but we're just trying to catch up here.
So it looks like Jonas is already really struggling in this game, and Matthias might have a good chance if he can keep calm and.
I mean, we've said, like, even before the start of the game, right? Like, Jonas on paper, he has a high rating and he's done really well, especially recently. But we can never write off Matthias Pankok. He's he's become so strong over the years, right?
But of course, also for Jonas, I mean, he's not that strong because he plays perfect moves all the time and he never gives away a lead, right? I think his games are very dramatic a lot of times, and sometimes he's losing, then coming back again, then winning, then losing.
Well, that's
again.
You have to stay focused for a full game.
So even a single Go game is more like a marathon than a sprint. Right? So even if you fall behind, you can if you keep up your stamina, you will still have chances. And I think Jonas is very good in keeping up his mental attitude and still finding the chances.
Yeah, I mean,
turn around the game, and we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, well, we make mistakes as humans, right? So we're not, we can't have Lila's assistance when we play like in the real tournament. So obviously there are some moves that we feel that might be good, but then actually in reality it just drops a lot of percentage. So that does happen. But like in professional matches, like oftentimes we see pro game commentaries. Like there are some top Chinese players who can come back from like a 10% position, right? And it was almost impossible because the bot, the computer program, decided that one of the players was already gonna shortly win, but then I think for humans it's sometimes hard to gauge that lead because you do want to keep leading, right? But if you play too aggressively, your opponent might capitalize on that and make things complicated. So sometimes if you protect the lead too much, and then you end up playing moves that are very safe but give up points, like that's gonna add up.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're ahead by like 10 points, let's say, which is a lot for Lila, I would expect. And then you don't know, like there's a complicated fight and you could avoid it by losing like 2 or 3 points. Or you could like don't give anything and have some messy fight which you don't totally understand until the end. Like, do you take the fight or do you give away a little?
I mean, sometimes you don't want to fight. Like even if you are an aggressive player, like because if you're leading, you just want things to be simple. So you can sprint to the finish line, right? But sometimes there will be obstacles along the way. So the mentality is very interesting, and that's why human play is still, I think, for at least for me, incredibly fascinating as they are. So in this case, obviously, I think White's really trying to attack, if not kill.
Yeah, feels looks a little desperate, right? This kind of.
I mean, surely if White just lets Black go, then.
Yeah, maybe White is already realizing that
Yeah.
building this, White cannot surround it completely with one move, right? If Black plays here, Black can still enter a little bit, and it may not be enough to catch up with all the corner territory Black has, while White lost his big corner inside.
Yeah.
Already.
I mean, in the beginning, like both of them slammed down like a lot of enclosures, but Black still has it. Is still pretty solid right now, and this is like
this enclosure was carved out. This one's completely taken, so there's not much.
Well, there must be a way there must be a way to overcome that deficit, right? Otherwise, it's not gonna have enough points. So, as we speak.
When I was studying in China, I learned something interesting about judging moyos.
You're in China?
Yeah, for like.
You didn't tell me. You could have been at my place.
I was part of this CEGO program, which a lot of these strong players took. I think even Arvid did that recently.
Yeah. In fact, I think we have players like who are still there right now. We have Stanislav, or at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening every year, right?
Yeah, we have like a lot of strong players like Stanislav Fayak or Gabriel Wagner. He's definitely there. I saw his reports. So.
Well, that will be interesting.
Yeah.
He's also got a lot of potential.
But you were saying you're in China?
Yeah, I was there in the very first year. Actually, I was already too old for going there, but somehow there was a free spot, and it was the first year, and I just asked, could I come by for a month or so? And they said, you can come all the time, no problem.
Yeah.
And so I went there together with Lukas Kremer and.
So you know him really well then?
Yeah, I do.
So how was that experience?
It was very educative. Like, I feel like I learned something completely new about the game of Go, or like I felt like all the time before I wasn't really playing Go. Like, I was just playing. Okay, I want that, so I try to get that.
Yeah.
And I was just taking the fights because I want to fight there.
Yeah.
But after I came back, I tried to think about Go much more from I would say more like an endgame perspective. Like, you take the fight because the points there are big, and you don't take the fight if you just have a big move somewhere else which is not fighting.
Yeah, so it's more point oriented.
Yeah, you try to find the biggest move and not to just intimidate your opponent by killing all his groups.
Well, at highlight was very hard to kill one group, especially right now. Like in the game, White's trying his hardest to kill. Or not kill.
Actually, I didn't finish my. We were distracted by China.
Please.
But one thing I learned there is when judging a moyo, whether it's like scarily big or not.
Yeah.
And what they told me is, if you have a moyo that has corners with it, then it's big. But if you have a moyo but the opponent has the adjacent corners, then it's not going to be too big.
Like, so if the corners are carved out, then it's gonna.
Of course, that's just a proverb. It's not like 100% rule.
Yeah.
But it works a lot of times. And I guess in this position, White has the potential for moyo, but it's without the corners, so it's never gonna be scarily big.
Yeah.
But Black already has all these corners.
Because like sometimes you think like a moyo is scarily big, right? But if you really count the rectangle, like this is. 5x4 is 20 points, but in some pockets, or just in the corners, you can also get that back. So,
right.
And because like we said in a game of Go, it's really hard to make the central territory because the board has natural borders, of course, and so with the corner you can just enclose like 2 sides, but like for the center you have to enclose like all 4 sides, right, in order to make a large pocket of territory. At some point, if you can't defend all 4 sides and your opponent manages to break in, then in Chinese we have a saying and we call it a paper lantern, because you can just poke into the paper lantern all the time, right? So it looks really big, but it has weaknesses. So you can just capitalize on that.
I like that image, like you poke from all the sides and it gives in a little here, a little there, and in the end it's not that big a volume left, right?
Right. I mean, for this game, I think that well, at least White's not trying to, if White plays here, maybe this is I don't know.
Yeah.
Better chance of making the center,
but he decides he wants to continue to attack, and I'm not sure if he's like trying to attack and then close it better, or if he's really trying to kill. But it doesn't look possible to kill a group like that, right? I
mean, first of all, at a high level, it's really hard to kill groups, right?
Yeah, in general.
When I was a kid, and I read about like Takumi Yamasaki Sensei a lot, and I was always playing like Senrensei, which is in Go is defined as playing 3 star points in a row. And then I always made this big moil, and I was ready for my opponent to like come in, so I can kill things. Yeah. And as a kid, that I enjoyed that a lot.
Pretty well, right?
Yeah,
the opponents are weak too, and like you can just kill all these groups.
Yeah.
But the stronger both players get, the harder it gets to kill a group.
Sometimes it's much harder to live, right? It's much harder to kill than to live, because this type of shape, right? If you throw 1 stone in, sometimes like even though it seems unlikely. There always seem to be ways you can make eye shape, right? But when you try to kill, you have to consider everything, because sometimes when your opponent spills into your territory and they live, then you have nothing left.
Right. I think the reason for that is that when you're trying to live, you have a lot of choices. Like say you have 1 eye already, like you need 1 eye anywhere, and so you can try there. Like there's maybe 10 or 20 different things you can try.
Yeah.
And if you need to prevent the opponent from getting an eye everywhere at the same time, like you have much more to do, and if just one thing doesn't work exactly like you plan out, then you're screwed already.
Yeah.
So
well, we'll see if that's his intention here, Jonas.
We will see. Okay, Black plays some forcing moves first.
Yeah, forcing moves.
Block.
That's Sente.
Block as well.
And White responded. What if White doesn't respond?
Ah, yeah, that's
question
a nice,
for the crowd.
That's a nice move left there, right?
And one more question for you. What's it called in Chinese?
I have no idea. I think there's pretty much one Chinese Go term I remember.
Oh, I thought you were at a program. You learned a lot that you never heard of.
Yeah, I learned a lot of Go, but somehow the Chinese studies. Actually, we had regular studies, but I was too much focused on the Go, so I was always being a little bit lazy with the language study, which is a pity.
Oh. So, but what's the real question is what's the move, right? For Black.
So there's a nice standard Tsuji. I can show you.
Yeah. Ooh. And the answer to that, the question I just posed is an oil stealing rat, because this is like a bottle of oil, and you're just sneaking in to take the oil away.
Oil. So why would a rat steal oil?
Because it's hungry.
Okay, is oil that delicious for rats? I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, I'm just like translating literally.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So. But I think the reasoning is if White blocks.
Yeah, then Black can cut here, right?
Yeah.
And White has no way to capture these stones. Like this would be self-Achari and then that would be Tooth Bomber, by the way. So Black can capture it.
Except it's a dead B2 bomber.
Yeah, it's a dead B2 bomber. And sad. White also cannot approach from here because this one can also be captured. So White needs 1 extra move or something, and then Black can just eat it.
Yeah. So White doesn't want that to happen.
White cannot cut this Black move. So
not allowable.
But the minute Black connects here, there's no room for 2 eyes. Should we explain eyes, by the way?
Oh yeah, I mean, for those of you who already been watching Ghost streams all the time, you probably know what eyes are. So sometimes you need glasses for it. Oh no, okay, that's not eyes.
Maybe we do it on this side here.
Okay, sure.
So an eye some free spot, you surround it completely. For example, like this one. And you're not just surrounded, if your groups are also connected. Like another one. And the thing is that black can now not enter here because it's getting captured. It's being captured already. It has no liberties. And that's the second one. That's also important. If there was just one, maybe we should start with that.
Yeah.
Then black wouldn't be allowed to play here right now. But as soon as all the other liberties are gone, black can now enter, because while the black stone doesn't have any liberties, the white group doesn't have any liberties either.
Right.
And the rule goes that whoever moves first in such a situation, he wins. So if black makes the move here, black is allowed to capture all these white stones.
Yeah.
And after that, black has liberties again.
So that works when you only have one eye.
When you have one eye. But once you have two eyes, you're invincible.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's kind of a me-eye situation. Like we said, you have two spots, and you might get to one of them, but you can't get to the other. So.
But it's not like the other one plays the other. So.
Yeah. Unless you just cheat and like put two stones at once.
Yeah. So this would be a suicide move, while white still has one liberty left.
Yeah.
And same here. So because of that, once a group has two eyes or is able to build two eyes later, it's alive. And that's what decides whether groups can be killed or not. It doesn't mean that you always have to build these eyes, especially like in the opening. Yeah. But if your territory is large enough that when in doubt you can prove that later you can make eyes, then you're fine.
Right. So that's just one of the basic concepts of Go, which is called an eye. I hope that explained things a little bit. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, how many viewers do we have, by the way? What?
3 viewers, that's not that much. Should we stop and go home?
So sad. We've worked like 9 hours for this. So yeah, but so it's 3,000, something like that? Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I hope that's because we gotta address our audience all the time, right? That's supposedly the job description. But I hope that explain things a little bit, because our purpose, right, ultimately is we could just totally make it like a completely high level stream, but we want everyone to have fun, to understand what's going on. Right. So just the concept.
Yeah. So basically, after this move, white doesn't have enough space left for these two eyes, so this whole corner is gonna die. And if this dies, black's group is alive and with territory, and white can resign. Yeah. So this is, of course, white plays a move, and this is the best way to defend it, because it's building the biggest territory. And
6 points.
Yes. And also, maybe this is strongest against black's eye shape here.
Yeah, just throw some stuff here. So black still needs to be careful, right?
Black has to be careful, sure. Black attaches there. White replies. Black
and now black pushes. This. Oh, someone's counter-attacking.
Yeah, it looks like he's having some plan, right?
Yeah. Probably Probably after a long consideration, because you can take your time in this tournament.
This looks nice, doesn't it?
Oh, wow. Hold on. So, what is happening?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Explain to us. Well, one of the first things I see is like white obviously can't play here, because otherwise black would just extend, and that's another me-eye position. So that's, if
white cannot connect this and this spot at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, so actually even though there's a cutting point, it doesn't work, because white cannot come in there, right? So that's the.
You mean this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Black cuts, and white cannot cut this group, because white also has just 2 liberties, and black just plays here, and it's gone.
And then it's game over too. So in the game, white probably played the only move possible, which is white.
Black probably plays here. Yeah, when it's connect here, and black cuts here. And that looks
very severe. Come out,
Come out. Black extends. White needs to do something there.
Whoa! Is that a Tsuji I see? Oh my God!
Let's think a little bit about this. Yeah, this is nice. Huh?
Wow! Oh my God! Does it just work? because right now we're keeping track of two groups, right? Like one of White's groups, which is the zigzag shape.
Yeah, I mean it's threatening to play here and kill them.
Yeah.
And but in the same time, it's threatening to do something like this.
Oh my god.
And capturing these in a net.
That's so good. I mean, you can't do nothing about this because.
Yeah, you cannot move out, right?
Cannot move out because there's shortage of liberties. Even like one more liberty would have helped, but now White only has two, and when a common rule is like when you only have two liberties, it's normally really hard to do things, right?
True.
Even if your opponent has a lot of holes.
True. Now it's three, but after one move it's just two, and then it's almost done.
It's really hard to maneuver. So
White really needs to be creative to avoid that. I was thinking.
Is there a way out now?
I don't think so. Like you can try this one as a short-term fix, right? Because
but still,
yeah,
like,
black just connects exactly, and now there's still this thread.
Yeah, just connect here.
And this thread.
Oh my god.
So yeah, White is just captured.
The defending champion in trouble.
Well, it looks like playing here. Yeah, and black eats it.
Well, yeah.
And now that's some subtle but nice thing, right? That you take it from here and not from there, because that's a snapback.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
White plays another.
Oh my god.
But black should be so happy right now, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he's on cloud 9 right now. This is such a big capture that not only did black live, he lived with authority. And I can only imagine what Lila's percentage must be.
I really
right
want to see what Lila's thinking about.
Yeah, because we originally this was a enclosure, right? This was like White's strong area, but now it seems like not only did black live inside that moyo, break into this territory, but also this is at least 12 points, right? Visibly, plus all the side stuff, it's like 12 to 15 points. So, oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting. Like, Lila doesn't see it immediately, but once this Tsuji was on the board, Lila thinks Jonas is pretty much lost. Right?
I mean, it's quite big, isn't it? And at the moment it's like how many? 86%.
Yeah. So it's like Lila would be very, very close to resigning now.
Oh, wow.
And I'm starting to wonder myself, like, is there a chance?
Is there a chance to come back at all, or is the game just over?
It's hard to imagine coming back from this, but even with a lot of thinking time, it's always possible in Human Go because especially when you're ahead in a game like that, you feel a lot of pressure. I think that's also something like that kept me from winning this title, because no matter how well I did in the German Championship, like in the final deciding game where I knew, okay, I just need to win one more, then I'm finally German champion. I want it so badly. and even if I did well in that game, I feel, I'm so ahead. How can I lose this game? I feel like, nice. Just like need to almost there. Keep it up, and then I'm finally champion. And it's so hard to focus and to not do any mistake, right? You can. Yeah, I feel as a human, you can always err. You can always mess it up. The higher the pressure and the higher the expectations, the more likely you are to mess it up. Especially when you're playing as a stronger player, because Jonas just beat Yongsam the other day, and that was something not a lot of European players have done. In fact, I think he's only the second person to beat Yongsam in a tournament game. The first person was Ilya Shikshin, who's a Russian professional. So just big achievement for him. Just a few days ago, but now his opponent Matthias Pankok is doing really, really well against him. Sometimes if you are thinking that your opponent is really strong, and they just made a big mistake and you're ahead, you'll be like, "Wow, what's happening?" Like, no, I'm actually winning, because it's sometimes it defies your expectations. But that's also I have experienced a lot in Go that the stronger your opponents, the better you play in a game, and the weaker the opponents, the more likely you are to underestimate them and play a bad game yourself that you get ahead. Well, we do have one question that I did want to get to before we go forward. So the question is, what would have White
If white would have connected, d12. Let's see.
I think we looked at that.
Oh yeah, we looked at that one.
But we can repeat it.
Yeah, we can repeat that for sure. Ah, this one. Yeah. So if white is connected.
Right. So black can play this Atari.
Yeah.
White should move out because it's yeah.
Ah, just the net.
This net.
Yeah. So yeah, this one we talked about earlier.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, this might not be as many stones as that one, but in fact, in some ways, it's even more catastrophic because white doesn't have a moyo anymore, right? It's completely destroyed.
But I mean, we really have to praise.
There was this stone here.
We really have to praise Matthias for reading this all out, right? It's amazing. Like, he must have been planning that.
Yeah.
Wait, what about that stone? That's not here, right? Looks. Huh?
Oh, that was
Oh no, it was later after.
Yeah,
the
that was later. Yeah. Well, should we just recover to the game position because that's already happened.
No, I mean in the past. I want to go back a little bit, like before this Tsuji. Yeah.
That one.
So I feel like when black played here, he must already have started with that.
Yeah.
So
he
I think he
plotted
read
it.
So I think he read it all out till the end, and he did that correctly. And I think that's an amazing job.
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely brilliant.
So when I looked into that with Lila, actually, Lila told me like with a few playouts on a very good machine, like over 1,000 playouts, Lila was still thinking this is all very bad idea for black, and it's just helping white and creating problems.
Yeah.
And just when this Tsuji was on the board, Lila started to agree that black just may have won the game.
Yeah.
So kudos to Matthias for this sequence.
He's totally, he's right on his game today. That's what we can say about that. Jonas did talk to me before the tournament that he was gonna win. He feels like he's confident enough to win the German championship. However, if he doesn't come back from here, that could be a bit more challenging. So
he's having the back against the wall already.
Yeah. Defending champion already in trouble. That's the big story of the first round. However, there's obviously more moves, so we'll just try to catch up to that.
Capture here first.
Yeah.
This black eats it. So how does the game continue?
I mean, it's hard to continue. I think black's just so thick, right?
Just here.
White's
should be fine.
White's trying the hardest to make the moyo now, because he needs points. Right?
So black is cutting here, seeing how white handles it.
The probing move maybe, like this is a must, right? White has to.
Right.
White cannot afford to lose more points now.
Right. So now black will get another cut, and let's weigh something against this. But he doesn't need to do it.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know that he has it for later. Here looks good.
At this point, I think Matthias probably thinks that he got a huge lead from this position. Now he just needs to hold on to that. So he's trying to maybe reduce uncertainties in a way, right? Because this is a defensive move that's really big, right? And it helps black build its own stuff. So at this point, I mean, if white doesn't break into this area, it'll be kind of hard for him to come back, right? At least those are my hunches. But he played here, and what will happen in the real game?
White invaded.
White invaded. Well, he has to. I think normally, if the game was even, right? If the game was even, would White have done the same thing? Would you think that's a?
Probably, I think. I mean, you could continue building that, but if you get 10 or 20 more points here, like it's these, I don't know if it's enough. This looks also quite like big black potential, right?
Yeah.
So that looks normal.
So yeah, well, I mean, white has to reduce some points now.
So black plays here. I don't know if that's the best idea. Like, you won't gain anything from building a wall here.
What if he's thinking about that one, just coming out to fight?
Maybe.
Is he building?
Yeah, that looks okay. We can see how it's gonna work out.
I don't know, because just my guess, right?
Yes.
Locally, it does allow for white to slide, and
this one.
now he's alive on the side. Oh, not yet.
Ooh, some trades coming coming
Yeah.
through.
What do you make of that one?
It's interesting. I haven't made up my mind yet. I mean,
Yeah.
White's gonna take it.
That's in the game. Yeah.
This, and now maybe this. Oh no, he
Oh
just
no,
connected.
that one. No. Well, there's some agi now.
That looks better, right?
Yeah. Well, is there still agi here or?
Yeah, but I think it's better to have it that way than that way.
Well, now it's just like why made this exchange, right?
And this looks like more ice space than this.
Yeah.
But maybe he felt like this is easier to escape into the center for White.
I mean, White's just trying to do everything now. It's like he's playing the nice move. Maybe he's trying to live here on both sides, and he's just
wow.
He's doing all the crazy things. Yeah.
How did they continue? Wow.
Wow. What did that happen?
Something happened. But having something crazy here must be good for Jonas, right? The more complicated the...
Well, that's what he wants, right?
Yeah, exactly. He wants to create chaos.
And White's doing all the magic tricks. So obviously for Black it's too dangerous to Hane here because otherwise White can cut.
Right, and then
that's the idea.
Black would have to take this one, White would get this cut, and eat the outside stone.
Yeah.
That would probably not be a good idea for Black. Feels like White might escape
might be disastrous,
or make life.
So I mean, yeah, this is so what Black has to play there to Hane. And well, in the game White connects.
Ah, yeah, this one.
Yeah, all Sente stuff.
Then
right?
play this one.
Well, Jonas is really turning the heat on.
But I'm not sure if Black even has to kill, right? Especially if there's this cut left. Maybe Black is fine with letting everything live and be strong himself. Also, I think there might be some agi left here, actually. It's not so easy for White to kill it off completely. Maybe after the exchange it's easier than it used to be before, but... So I don't know how many points White is there already.
I think it's possible Black might be aiming for one of the Ataris, right? Just to... he might be looking into that already. Like, once he's strong enough, he can just Atari and pretty much those two white stones are his. Just my guess. Oh no, I have to say, according to your Lida sensei, the winning percentage is no longer 85%.
Yeah, it looks like
it's 64%.
The slack moves by Black might have already made it.
Yeah.
Made it better for White.
Well, if White manages to live, they'll certainly swing, towards him.
Let's see what happens. This.
I don't know.
This. Oh, so actually after this. Lila wouldn't continue with this actually. Like he would just play big move. And then Black doesn't want to make another move to make it really safe.
Well, because that'll be too many moves spent in one area, so
maybe.
Yeah. It'd be over investment.
So but where did Black go so wrong here?
Yeah. Oh my god, the winning rate is just dropping rapidly.
Like this was still fine. So it looks like this is just completely wrong direction. Like
so normally would you like look at the drop of the percentage from the last?
Yeah, exactly. And this. So this one.
I mean.
Lose like 5%, or every move lose a little bit. Like this was a little slack. So I think Black is worrying so much about how to deal best with this Moyo. that he's neglecting just the territories. Like play a move like this with this corner.
Yeah, just grab cash.
Yeah, and also here, like he's saying, okay, you can do whatever you want on the side. I just want influence towards the center. But he won't get any points on his own with this wall. He will just manage to reduce white.
It is rather white who's stealing his points.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's giving away all of his own points just to reduce the white center, which wasn't too scary to begin with, then maybe...
wow, we're going to see a dramatic turnaround, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, but still, after this move, Lila says it's like... quite big for him. But yeah, maybe this one is also a little scary.
Is there a way for Black to counterattack?
Yeah, he could attack like that. But actually, Lila would just take the corner.
Lila just recommends cash, right?
Yeah, and I think also, after this one, if Black goes through here, this white group is not completely settled yet, is it?
So I mean, something like this. And
yeah, or maybe just the extension, like...
just extension, yeah.
Like, it doesn't...
No, that's really big.
It doesn't look like two eyes. So, yeah, it's a huge move.
Yeah.
With some effect on the life and death situation here as well.
Well, that makes it even larger, right? Because it's no longer just a territorial, like an end game move.
So, and that's exactly what happens if you get a huge lead in the opening.
Sometimes it could work against your favor. If you can't handle
you stop worrying, you think, I'm ahead so much, I just need to play safe and safe and just reduce that, and then I won. But Go isn't that easy. Like you should still, even when you have a large lead, you need to play something close to the biggest move. If you lose 1 or 2 points once in a while, it won't hurt your 20-point lead, but probably it wasn't a 20-point lead at that point. But if you lose 3 points here and 4 points there, then it can accumulate very quickly. So you should never neglect territory.
Well, in that case, the percentages do tell a story, right? Because normally, like in Fuseki, for example, it's just sometimes it's just the difference of opinion or previously, and even in Lila, for example, there's maybe 2-3% difference, but if you see the graph and it drops like 5% per move, then it starts to is really concerning, right? I guess for the player who's leading, at least for now, like from human senses, you can tell that white's stolen a lot of territory, and from what was previously black's, right? And especially, I think after this, this kind of trade, this black group is maybe weaker, and like this.
And actually, maybe the trade is also not that good of an idea, because I mean, if you take the trade, you need to be quite certain that you can kill that group, right? Because if you take the trade and white gets stronger here, and you still don't manage to kill, then
you're just there, just so pure points loss.
And because this losing a stone here certainly hurts this area and this group and this point. So actually, at this point, Lila would still just take the territory.
So always recommended that one.
Yeah, the corner is so big.
Yeah.
And I guess with the follow-up of later harassing in the white group a little bit.
That's true, yeah. And also, like if white just slides in, then in a sense you're gonna have trouble, right? With
right. Especially after that trade, right? If you have these stones, you might have a weak group here all of a sudden,
Like this group is not that settled. It has some. It has a gap, and that's what you have to worry about when you play a high enclosure.
That's exactly what Lila would do. So that may be a little bit one-sided by black.
Yeah.
But Jonas wants to do it all immediately, right?
Yeah. He's rolling the deep.
So how did it continue? This one.
Now that I mentioned that, a song stuck in my head. But we can't play it
about that
because but in the game, white's trying to make make it complicated, and this is what Jonas is really good at.
Actually, here that's interesting too.
Yeah,
like black is focused on enclosing white for potentially killing it, so it plays here. But Lila, with all the positional judgment, would just play here. And
Really? Leader's gonna allow white to break out.
yeah, exactly.
Ah, now that's something we don't think about a lot. Yeah, the reflexive action is like I can't let you get out. Right?
Yeah. So
I have to
Lila
cage you
thinks
in.
that even after white got out, and black got this nice Ponuki, which helps a lot for this cut later.
Oh yeah, absolutely does.
And white still has trouble, right? I mean, it's not like...
I mean, perhaps white needs something with this group, but shouldn't be that hard, right? Because black can just do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, black will continue playing here, taking this white shape.
Mm-hmm.
And
so just
yeah, and if white defends,
yeah.
white's gonna get attacked in the center. But if white moves out, then black can also easily do something here, right?
Well, then white didn't do much, right? White didn't reduce much at all, because black managed to defend this base.
Yeah, I mean, white managed to reduce this territory
like a little bit.
Yeah, but
tiny bit.
Black got so strong here and got a few points here.
Yeah.
Black got strong here with this. And also after white was forced to exchange this, actually this group is a little weaker again. And white is still running or having a burden, right? So black can easily get something threatening to attack it and also walking into the white center.
Yeah. Wow, that was something I didn't think about, I have to be honest.
No, at this point I didn't either.
So in the game, as one of our audience members pointed out, the bottom right looks too good for white. What do you guys think? Well, in the game, I suppose. If white manages to live, that would be certainly too good, right? Because this used to be black's territory, and now it's black's home base that's being washed away. By just this series of white moves, so I would say that if white,
but I think all in all, black is still in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a huge swing. Like it's almost like game deciding right there, but it's closer, right? There are more chances for white because white stole some territory, and now there are some weaknesses that white could maybe. Take advantage of, and hopefully black will make some mistakes and allow white to get back in. So that is the story of the day as
this one, right? Yeah. This one.
Yeah, that's center.
All the forcing moves. I'm playing here.
Great question, by the way. Keep the questions coming, guys. And
but maybe if black kills, then black doesn't have to worry anything. Huh?
Well, first of all, it's already a lot more complicated than it could be. Than it could have been, right? I suppose black is this a real game?
Actually, it is, yeah.
I mean, I don't see black just letting white live, right? That would be too big of a loss, I think. Perhaps not, game deciding, but if black, for example, allows white to live, then it would be quite a big point swing. Wouldn't you say?
I would have thought so, but I already peeked at the win rates of
See, you can't do that in the German Championship. You have to like.
Yeah, that's why I'm commenting now.
Yeah. Aww.
So much easier.
Now I feel like I'm going too hard on you. But yeah, it does feel like this is a vital point, right? Normally, when I mean. You are the one with the lead expert, but I mean this is a vital point.
Yeah, it is. But Lila thinks after that you can just play here. Let white live with some. How's the exact shape? Yeah, like this. So it's a little bit of an ugly shape, which will lead to black playing here in the center too, because it threatens to connect here.
Yeah,
right?
no white here.
Yeah, and then you can play maybe this one. It's also like.
Well, if you play here and the white plays here, then Atari, then you get a dream combo.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Lila would play another move here just to annoy white a little bit and make this group stronger. And now cut here. And looks still very alright for black. I mean, this is huge too. So yeah, maybe white played a little bit too direct, like making life immediately and giving the initiative to black again, right? if White just would have, after this trade, if White had left this area and first played here to attack this, then White would have felt like in the initiative, and then later come back to this Agi.
I mean, I suppose this is just so much thickness, right? That in the beginning, that it still has a huge impact on the game, right? Like locally, you would say like if the game was even and White just lived inside Black's Moya, then you would call that like a success for White.
Black has already lived and destroyed everything in White's corner here, and taken a lot of points himself, right? Like 6 captures, like 12 points.
Yeah.
Cash.
With some debris outside.
Yeah, there might be more. Right?
Yeah. So I mean, every battle matters. Right?
So Black is fine with giving White something back as long as Black gets something for that again as well. And if Black gives away this one and gets this one, then it's fine.
Might just be my reflexive response, because I really want to kill it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to you don't have sometimes you don't want to trust like Leela blindly. You know, you still want to form your own opinion.
Never
right?
Trust anybody blindly, right?
Yeah. I mean, I trusted you about the ladder, but we'll just never stop talking about it. So in the game.
Yeah, in the game, Matthias wants to kill, which is understandable.
Yeah.
And but it might be the too quick way. Like he says, okay, this is one game.
Yeah.
I want to win it, and then I want to go home. That's that's dangerous. Usually, when you have a one game, you really need to keep playing until the very end and make it.
Be patient.
Yeah, just be happy with your small win in the very end, and not to try to turn it into a big win, because Black also has some trouble here, right?
Yeah. Well,
and White is
I think this is what Jonas wants.
Yeah.
Like when his back's against the wall, he usually produces his best moves.
And now things are getting so messy.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on at all. Like there's this one.
So Black has to block.
This.
So Black's not alive either in the corner.
Yeah.
Doesn't have 2 eyes.
Yeah, so now it's a really complicated capturing race, right? With this group, this group, and
they're trying together, yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Whoa. You just might be wondering if that was the moment Matthias lost his cool. And
maybe. This one.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom this. At least it looks like a Ko. And Black's trying to just take away this eye.
Yeah, there's certainly some Ko there, right?
There's some shenanigans.
So how about Ko threats elsewhere on the board? Like Black might have some annoying stuff.
Well, Black has a wealth of Ko threats, right? Like quite a few of them actually, but
yeah. White might attack this one. I'm not sure if that's like a Ko threat.
Is that big enough? This is way too big, right?
I mean, if you play this and this dies, but it won't be like that, right?
Right, because you only have 2 moves. Yeah. So the cost for White in this Ko is if White loses, then this dies, and I don't think there's any chance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think even if he kills this corner, it's gonna be like way too big because everything here is gonna be like.
So it will depend on what kind of Ko this is gonna become, right? Mm-hmm. Shall we enter the last few moves in Leela?
Yeah, sure. What a match so far! Oh my god. How many viewers do we have right now? Let me know. Something great.
What? Huh. I have to think about that.
It's too complicated. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this fight so far. I mean, man, this is crazy. Every time we stream this a game like this, it's impossible to predict what's gonna happen, right? Like we can only just try to do our best, like depending on how they play. But every once in a while you get one of these very exciting fights, and this is one of them.
So until here things seem to be quite forced, right? I mean, this is not there yet. But actually, Leela now wants to play this one. And I think the idea is...
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around it.
But
I think it's threatening something
right?
here. If white answers like that,
yeah,
then you're extending into the corner. And while it's still not two eyes yet, right?
What about that one?
Exactly. Capture, throw in.
Do you have
So-
more liberties now?
So this is not two eyes, right? Because it looks like an eye, but
Yeah.
because these stones are not yet connected, after this one, this stone is an Atari, and
So it's not an eye.
if black fills it, it's not an eye, and otherwise white can play here, and he's allowed to because he's capturing this one
Yeah,
separately.
it's possible for white to enter.
So this is not about making two eyes immediately.
But rather about the liberty race, right? The
Let's do
semi-eye.
that. Yeah. So white, black, white. Let's capture once. And at this point, black should probably ignore because now white needs to make a lot of moves, right?
Yeah.
Capture, connect, and then play here. So black has 3 liberties there.
Right. So there's some time for black to quickly take away the other liberties.
Yeah, and black has an eye on the corner. So I think if black takes away white's eye here,
Then is white just dead?
yeah, white is just dead. So white cannot afford that.
Wow.
So,
But if you don't do anything, from white's perspective, then there will be some stuff right on the side. Like if you do that one, I guess there's some Hane here to.
yeah, now
Punish white?
things are getting complicated. Yeah, play Hane. Like, of course, plays this Atari, connects.
And then you have to like connect, right?
Oh yeah, you have to do this one.
do this wizardry on the first line.
So that's the only thing black can do, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
I have to-
yeah.
So if you don't do that, then probably you cannot block here either because of some nastiness.
Because white can.
Even this one cannot be blocked. And now white's gonna
Yeah.
have more liberties, right? Maybe even like that.
Yeah. Well, let's count. If white connects here, then white has how many? Let's play this out.
No, I mean white has now both have 4, right? Yeah, 3 against 4. And it's black's
Oh, yeah.
turn. But white can fill. So yeah,
So
white
black,
wins.
yeah, white wins.
So
So black has the Hane.
yeah.
So,
So there will be some interesting trades happening. Right?
what?
What? Wait a second. What is this? I'm so confused. But that's just the same thing. No, I think that's nonsense. Luckily, that's trying to play with us. So this is. So there was this move.
Yeah.
But actually, it will end up being just like the same thing like here, so it doesn't matter. So this.
Yeah.
And I guess here, not 100% sure.
I mean, this is the only pathway to back to a safety, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what is this one now? There's some problem? No, not yet. I guess black could connect.
This game is just so great.
What? What's gonna happen? There's a throw in.
I don't know.
This one is threatening a cherry. So given that white has enough co-threats, which white may have with all these outside things.
Yeah.
This.
Can you do anything though?
This. And then there's something here, right?
Oh, because the Atari Sentai.
Yeah, this one is Sentai. So you can.
Can you still do it though? What if black wedges? Oh my god, this is the craziest stuff I've ever seen. It never ceases to amaze you how crazy things can go.
Oh, that looks fine for black, right?
I think this barely doesn't work for white. Right? Like it almost worked. I thought it worked as well, but it just doesn't. And it's just madhouse.
What are they doing there?
I don't know. At least they didn't.
White doesn't have to do this actually.
Oh.
Like white can also play something like this, and if black just answers here, aiming at capturing this.
Oh! I see.
So black might have to play this one, and then there's this code thing going on.
That code. That's what I call a large code. But here you have like local code threads, right? I mean,
it's not like this, right?
Oh no! If you throw it. I mean, white doesn't have like a great code thread like from here, but because all does.
Yeah, white can do all these things as a code thread, so it's really, really complicated.
And I mean, even if black wins the code, even though like white doesn't capture black's massive amount of stones, but because black makes so little from all these moves, that these stones are just they encircle nothing, and white just takes all that outside.
So actually, if you move back, we had this, right? At this point, no, wait, these liberties are not taken yet. At this point, Lila doesn't feel confident to connect as black. So we'd rather play this one.
Yeah.
Prepare.
Oh my god, this is nuts.
Yeah, like this.
I mean, I've been in some complicated fights, but that one, no.
I think it's not gonna work immediately. Like,
does it?
You're not. Oh, this one.
That one. Does it just barely not work?
For example, here. Yeah,
the Atari. Okay. It barely doesn't work.
Even without the Atari, I'm not that sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Something there, but yeah, of course, with the Atari it's better.
Yeah, almost did.
But yeah, it's complicated too. But so what's happening?
We should ask the players about this.
Is that
I decide to come.
At some point, black can start this huge go.
Yeah.
But he cannot just gain stuff, but also lose everything here, right? So it's very risky to start.
Yeah.
So black would rather not do it immediately.
Crazy.
And then there might be some. Yeah. Like Lila says, black has 45%, so almost even.
Wow. Unbelievable. From what was it? 85% to 45%. He did it again. But that's not what happened in the game, right? So perhaps we should
yeah, it's all super messy. But I guess the gist of it is that black had this bigger...
Black had a chance to simplify the game.
Yeah, black could just have played here and taken the outside and let white live. Yeah. And with this move left and the initiative to play these moves and this one, black would have been good.
Yeah. Well, that...
But he wanted to kill, and now he's suffering himself. This.
Crazy people.
This. And yeah, that's if you find this move, right?
Yeah.
In the game, Matthias...
It's hard to spot sometimes.
It is. I wouldn't have spotted myself, no matter how much I would have thought about it. So, now he played this one. And now Lila thinks it's like 80% for white, actually.
Wow.
Like, just play this one once, and then here.
So that was like a 65% swing.
Yeah, because what happens here, like black can play and move like that, but white is just
because like if black Hana is like what we think normally is gonna be useless because now this is gonna be Miai.
Yeah, usually you don't play a Hane where you give the opponent a tiger like this, and you cannot double Hane. So then you not always, but often it's better to just play this move, the second move.
Yeah.
White will play here anyways, and now black doesn't have to make this one, right? But just.
Yeah, sure.
But still,
what if black?
Yeah, there's some sort of but I think white has a lot of liberties, right?
Yeah. So actually, not Hane, not playing Hane for black. That was the biggest drop of the game, right? That was the biggest single swing.
This Hane, right?
not playing the Hane.
Yeah.
Playing here instead.
Right, this one would have been like, what was it, like 40, 45, 46%
Yeah.
win rate, and this is like 18%.
19,
Yeah,
18%.
yeah. So,
Well, it's like
so 25.
27%.
Yeah, so it's like even game to almost certain loss, I guess.
Yeah. We do have a question from the chat. Fall Munction. Hi, by the way. Good to see you. Question for Benny. With the huge code situations at play, how much can you really trust Leela?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, you're the expert. You tell me.
I think Leela is doing all right with Ko. Like, it has more problems with Seki and, of course, ladders, and maybe if there's a lot of different life dispositions all over the board.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if the neural, I mean, Leela consists of a neural network that encapsulates the intuition of the bot.
Yeah.
And then it has a lot of reading, right?
Yeah.
And if the intuition, sometimes the neural net isn't perfect, so sometimes the intuition is off.
Yeah.
And if it's off in just one place,
then you tell that it's
then,
okay. Yeah.
Then you can make up for
nonsense.
it by reading, right?
Yeah.
At some point, it will figure it out. But
Yeah.
if you have a lot of small positions where the intuition is off, or where the intuition is off for a very long time, like say you have a huge group and Leela just cannot imagine it dying.
Yeah.
And it will die in like 50 moves, but it will die for sure. And the neural network doesn't see it. Then Leela doesn't read deep enough to find it.
Yeah.
So, but I would say, actually, Ko is the kind of a local situation. Like the Leela knows where it can capture back the Ko. So I think the intuition is right, and it can read well enough ahead.
Yeah.
So as far as I have experienced, I think Leela is very strong with Ko.
Wow. Well, that's certainly helpful. If you wanna, look at that. Look at it that way. Sometimes it's really hard to just parse these incredibly difficult co-fights. Yeah.
But I don't know what's.
I think we have some visitors in the studio, by the way. They just finished playing, and surprise! Interview time. Do we have 2 more chairs? Can we do this? Okay. Well, I got. Do you guys want to see the interview? I'm guessing yes. I will just answer on your behalf.
I think I will just take a small break and you interview these guys. Is that fine? Or you want me to interview them too?
I'm fine. This is my job. It's okay. So this is a really nice surprise. Throughout this week, we're gonna try to get players a chance to talk about their games as well. But obviously, we need the time. We need just a brief moment to set up the chairs, and also to give you guys maybe a break from all the crazy code stuff that's going on. But we'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys, welcome back after the break. I'm Stephen Hu, also known as XH390. I'm still here. We just had a really crazy co-fight, but halfway through, we had a nice surprise as some of the players who finished their first round match already came to join us. And I think two especially very young and promising players, especially that are popular among the Twitch audience. So we thought it'd be cool if we give them a chance to say hi. So Albert Pittner and Martin Huziga, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so I'm sure people have already heard of you through the introduction we had. All of these 8 players, including you guys, are very strong. Tell me a little bit about yourself. We've looked a little bit into like the stats and everything, but that's never the full picture, right? Both of you are very young, and you are, I think,
I'm 14.
You're only 14, and you?
I'm 21 now.
Oh, so you're actually a year young.
I'm not that young anymore.
Yeah, once you go to 18, you just it goes downhill. Yeah, you've already passed the peak. Yeah, but for especially for you, Arvid, is you are, I think, the youngest participant in this year's championship, right?
Yes, I think. Like
I
I
think
am
even
maybe
the youngest ever.
Ever? Wow!
Championship.
Congratulations. So how many years have you played Go? I mean, you're so strong now.
Yeah, I started with like 5. I could play Go, but then I went to chess with 6. And first grade I just played chess all the way, and then with 7 I started to really study Go and to play and to go to tournaments. So now 7 years, something like that.
Yeah, and I heard that you studied in China, right?
Yeah, 6 months last year.
Yeah. How was that experience for you?
It was really nice at the beginning, but then like after like 4 months it was kind of exhausting, and it was so hard to still go and keep on and every day,
Keep
7
concentration
days.
I'm sure Benny could attest to that. He's also
tough.
yeah. So were you staying at a Go school or?
We were staying in an apartment like the other 6 Europeans that were there, and we had like, we got money every month, and then we just went to eat by ourselves, buy some stuff, and go to the Go school every day.
So was the daily training like? Because you told us that you spent a lot of time playing Go every day.
Yeah, we went there like 8:30, and we had half an hour of Tomigo every day until 9. And then we played our league games. It was one game, 1 hour each, and then some 20 seconds per Yomi. And after we finished that, we started playing pro games and studied them. And then we looked at Sumiko and stuff. So everybody could do what he wants after he finished his game.
Yeah.
And then at like, I think 11:30, I'm not sure, but then we had a lunch break.
Yeah.
From 1.5 hours or something, and then we had another one until 5:15. Again a game, and then mostly a review by the teacher. He looked at one game.
It's a lot of hours.
And then we at the end we had then it was over basically, but at 6 o'clock I think there was it was voluntary, but everybody went there, so there was the teachers were giving from a table. There was a table, and everybody was written there. On each day, someone was like several guys were supposed to show a game themselves, and the teacher would review it. So it was like again 2 hours of just looking at the games and getting reviews with teachers.
Yeah.
Then you could go home and sleep.
Finally. Home sweet home. So sometimes you just have to take breaks and go, right? This is way too hard. And so, your life in China must have been really intense. Just immersed in Go every day. I don't know if Martin, you went to China or not.
I went to Korea for 3 months.
Oh, wow!
Yes.
All of you
project.
had for a different project. Well, tell me about that. What is it like?
It was. I think it's still running. It was from the Korean government. They wanted to spread Korean culture.
Yeah.
So they invited young players from all over the world,
Yeah.
basically. We were Matthias was there with me. Yeah.
Matthias
And-
Pankow?
Yes. And Johannes Walker, another young German player, but he doesn't play too much anymore. And yeah, we also had some kids from Vietnam and Australia, United States.
Yeah.
And the day was similar as what Arvid just described.
I mean, so
And
both
it
of you
was.
guys have studied abroad, right? And you know, it's very far from home, and you're in a different culture. Actually, the
Yeah.
same as me right now. Now that I'm in Germany, but must have been a special experience. Like initially, did you feel that it was difficult and hard to continue?
No, I really liked it. And well, I was only 3 months, I guess. And I guess if I would have been there for half a year as well, it would be tougher.
Yeah.
But 3 months was good time.
Yeah, well, the great thing is now you've come back and you're much stronger players, and you're doing really well in the tournament. So I wish you guys all the best. This field is very strong this year. Actually, we have quite a few sextons, and but we have you, and we were promoting the event. I mean, people were saying like I'm really excited to see Arvid, like how he's doing. So they really
High
like your style.
expectations.
Yeah, I don't know. I can play quite good, I think, but sometimes I don't think, and then I just do pretty stupid stuff, and I lose the game like right at the beginning, or also when I'm ahead, I just don't play really. I don't think anymore. I don't try, and then I just lose. So I guess it's also the experience. I didn't play too many really strong games yet, so
Mm-hmm.
I need to still learn to play against stronger opponents.
I mean, this is only your first tournament, so you
Mhm.
have plenty of opportunity to come back and maybe try to win one of these trophies one day. But yeah, you have plenty of time, and you as well, Martin. I mean, you are
Yeah.
I think the young among the youngest players in this year's tournament. And
Yeah.
what are your expectations for this week? Just trying to have fun. Do you have any goals in mind?
Well, mostly I want to have fun, but
Yeah.
and I didn't want to lose everything, so I'm happy already that
Yeah.
I won this game. Yeah. And yeah, I really don't have any
Just try to complete every game, right?
complete plans. Like
Yeah.
just
Well, it's gonna
I don't
be
want to be completely frustrated at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me too, actually. I didn't expect to get like one of the third places, like the 3 6 tons, so I didn't
Mhm.
expect to really beat any one of them, but I guess I just wanted to try my best and to have good
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Actually.
I mean, that's what you're gonna do, right? You're just gonna play your game and show that you're confident, and hopefully good results will come, right? Well, it's still gonna be a long tournament because we have 6 rounds to go, and this one's not even finished yet, and we've already seen some very crazy stuff. So we're gonna try to continue with that. But thank you guys so much, Martin and Arvid,
Thank you.
for being here. We'll just let you have some rest now because I'm sure that first game was difficult, and maybe
some
maybe
food.
we'll try to look at SGF later. But yeah, well done on finishing your first match, and best of luck to both of you.
Thanks.
And we'll just be taking a really short break. When we come back, we're gonna be returning with Mr. Benjamin Teuber to give us more commentary on the conclusion of this first board. Crazy things are going on, and looks like Jonas Veltiga could make a comeback. We'll just see how that goes. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Good.
All right, guys, welcome back from our break with Mr. Benjamin Teuber, EGF 6 Dan. We are still bringing you live commentary of the 2018 German Go Championship. And speaking of Go, it's a very complicated strategic board game that involves a lot of thinking, a lot of fighting, even though it's a very peaceful activity for sure. We've been here for about, what is it, like 4 hours now? For 4 or 5 hours? And this game is still going. However, there have been, interesting twists and turns. Would you agree, Benjamin?
Yeah, I mean, Matthias had such a great start in the upper left corner, right, where he shredded White's framework into pieces, and then that thing that always happens when you're ahead against a seemingly much stronger opponent, like your nerves are getting weaker, and first you play a little careless, like with the optimism, I just need to do this, and then I won automatically, and then your lead gets a little smaller and smaller, and then at some point you think, okay, now I really want to get it home, and you start a really complicated fight that is risky for you, and that just happened, right? I mean, we saw if Black had just defended his weakness and let White live, Black would still have been in a very nice position. But he wanted to go all in, and we got all this messy stuff, and
it's just so hard. I mean, we just took a long time just before the interview with Arvid and Martin. If you remember, we did a full analysis on this position, and what just one move, just one exchange, cost Matthias like 27%, something like that, which in the game of Go is a really dramatic shift. And sometimes the percentages do tell a story, sometimes they move like 1-2%, doesn't matter, but if it's a big mistake, then it does show, right?
Yeah, I mean, after this there would be some very complicated but probably even trade going on, and after this Black is pretty much just lost, I would say.
Wow.
Because in the end this situation will be kind of a co. But it will be a co that Black has to win like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And even if Black finally manages it, I mean, this was a Black territory to start with, right?
Yeah.
So White is alive here, White got something here. So if Black finally manages to keep this territory, but had to play 3 extra moves that White got elsewhere, then White is just as happy as living inside.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Like, this is such a dramatic beginning, and all of a sudden, the tides have turned, and as we see, we said at this point, the defending champion Jonas Veltico was in trouble. He was down to 15% winning rate, I think, especially after his Moya was ripped open. But I mean, you got to give full credit to him. Jonas is really good at finding out weaknesses in opponent's shapes, and he's good at turning it around, even though things are not going well the beginning. Yeah,
and maybe he's also good at luring opponents into fights that look like, what is Jonas doing here, right? I mean, he started moving these weak stones and going out there, and what is that? Yeah. And also like maybe it's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Like he starts moving in your territory, and they're, what are you doing? I want to kill you.
The ground starts to shake.
And then you play the killing move, and suddenly you realize, wait, actually Jonas had some very, very deep and dangerous plan, and it can go south very quickly for you.
Right. I mean, well, that's the game of Go. You have to, stay focused and lead. Try to maintain the lead if you have it until the finish, right? That's only. Then you can call it a true victory.
Right.
All of this is very fascinating stuff. Of course, a lot of twists and turns, and sometimes it's not really nice if you're a player and you're going through all these things in your head. We shall continue with the live game progress. This is board 1. We originally were trying to do board 2, but this game is just so
intense,
mesmerizing. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like we don't get this every time. Some in some cases people just vouch for territory, and they just build, and then it's a peaceful end game. But not with Jonas apparently.
No.
But yeah, we shall continue.
Actually he didn't. He played.
No.
Okay, this one.
Yeah,
Sorry,
this one,
I should have this. So black throws in here, which I don't think it actually helps with the liberties, but this one. White starts the ko.
Yeah.
Place this one as a ko threat. And now you can see that for black to really win that thing, right?
Yeah.
Black needs to win this ko, then capture here, then connect here, and then it's safe.
Yeah. So just
So it's a multi-step ko.
reiterate. So if white takes this ko, right, for black to win it, it's 1 and 2 and 3. Right? But if white wants to win the ko, then from this position, right, then just takes 1.
I mean, it's also 2, so
Maybe,
it's not that easy for white to take it out. But since it all was black's corner to start with, like white is fine either way, right? So on average, it's like even, and whoever spends like 2 or 3 moves more will win the ko in the end. But if black wins the ko, white takes the cash elsewhere, and if white wins the ko, black still has nothing maybe. So depends on what black gets for the ko, of course. But white can be very relaxed with that ko now.
I mean, I think even just this has something to do even with these 2 stones. I mean, if white manages to connect, right, then the original cut doesn't function anymore.
Right.
And and like everything changes. You have to reevaluate the board, and because if black loses his ko, what once was his corner would become white territory, and that's the same thing here, right? You get these huge point swings that will really determine the outcome of a game.
But I think actually it's one of the hardest things for a human in Go to be flexible, right? You think, oh, this is the fight, and so whoever wins this fight wins the game, and I need to keep this all the time. But actually, like, there just a subtle difference that the other one has to make one bad mistake or you get one extra move there is enough to just give it to your opponent altogether and just take a big move somewhere else and just be in the lead globally. And bots are so good at this and just, okay, now I don't need it anymore, I throw it away, I just take the lead. But humans, they were focused on this one fight and they cannot stop there. They just don't get the idea to, okay, now I don't need it anymore, now I change my plan.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all
I cannot do that myself, right?
Yeah, it's all mentality, and that's what Go is all about, right? This is why we're not machines, and because we have to make human decisions, and that's sometimes it's difficult. But as we speak, right now, this is the actual game, right? Yeah. And this is like it's already 76% for white. Right. So I guess we'll just play out how this goes.
Black plays this as a ko threat. Yeah. But also, it's the best move for ko threats. But we talked about this shape before, right?
Strategically, it's not good.
So this shape is better, but it's worse for the ko, so he didn't consider it. But actually, Lila thinks it's still better for black to play here.
I mean, even if white takes here, then you can.
Yeah, like the ko is still not completely settled, and even after this, if white plays this, and then here, there's still like something white still needs to.
Oh, actually, well, that was, in that case, white can